Hey there, and welcome back to Remnant 2. Today we're going to be looking at the Huntress Spear. It just got an update to itself, to its weapon. It got a buff. Really, that's what it got. It got a buff with the recent update that they did, adding corrupted weapons and a little, some balances. So the big things that changed was it. First, we'll talk about some of the trajectory. So they changed how the flight pattern is, its projectile speed, stuff like that. So for me, it feels a lot better. I really like how it feels now. I did always really like it, but to me it felt kind of clunky. In some ways it can still feel kind of clunky, mostly in the animation to charge it up, where the Krellax feels nice and smooth as far as like it goes up and then I throw it. This one is like a flippy and I think it's ready to throw, but I haven't actually caught the spear, it's not ready, etc. But like it throws a lot better. I think it feels a lot better. I know some people have really gotten used to how it does work or did work and liked how it did, and I'm sure it's probably going to be, it's going to be jarring for it to be different. If you get used to anything and it changes, it's not going to feel amazing, right? But the biggest change is that they added corrosion to it, which is, that's huge. It puts it right there next to the Krellax. Is it better than the Krellax? I don't know. But for, your status effect builds, it's a great choice because it's a ranged melee weapon that applies a status effect. So it doesn't take any ammo. You can hit a dude, apply status effect, and then immediately start like spreading a bunch of things and doing a lot of damage. It's pretty solid. And even if you're not doing a status effect build, just having corrosion on it is just nice. It's just more damage for it to do, and lowering armor and all that stuff. Like, it's just nice. I really like that, and especially because the Huntress, the boss that you get the weapon from, has corrosion effects. Like, she can poison you. So I like that change. But we're going to use it here today. I'm going to show you how it's working. I've been using it a bit last night and a little bit this morning. And, it works. It's a status effect build. Status effect builds are going to be great. That's what I'm running here. And, yeah, we got Ritualist as a primary. Medic as my secondary because I like the overall generic damage boost for our status effects. I'm putting on the Energized Neck Coil. It's not one that I typically use because it is really good. But I have been running this whole setup around a lot with, Chains of Amplification. I've been winning with that. I have been doing the Effluvian Enhancer. The bad thing was this one and the Spear versus something like the Gas Giant. The Gas Giant ends up doing corrosive damage with its melee attacks when it's charged up. So it's increasing the impact of the swing and the corrosive damage over time effect. Where the Spear, the throw, it's still physical damage, even though it applies a corrosion effect to it. So the Effluvian Enhancer, it doesn't actually increase the impact of the Spear. It's only increasing the corrosive damage over time effect. But it is a solid increase as well. So, that is a choice. It's something that I've ran, and it was fine. Really, any kind of generic damage increases for your status effects work out pretty well. I like the Shade Bloom Crystal a lot. That was working fine for me. What was the other one I was trying to do? Oh, Neckbone Necklace. You could run that because, again, it's a 25% damage increase. But you just need to make sure you have a status effect on you. But past that, I went ahead and I took the Blood Jewel so that the Spear is now applying corrosion and bleeding, which is fun. I really like that. Since I am doing some bleeding, I've got the Blood Tinged Ring. Gives me some nice regeneration. Red Ring of Death is solid, so it's going to be duplicating our corrosion effect, which is just a solid damage increase. And then the Burden of Destroyer. We're doing a lot of melee stuff, right? Even though this is a thrown projectile, it's still a melee attack, and it's not like getting affected by a reduction in our like range of firearms because we're doing a lot of status effects. We're hitting dudes with the Spear, so Burden of Destroyer is a great choice here, and it increases all our damage, right? Some other choices, I don't really like the Band of the Fanatic. Didn't seem to work well with it, but it's also been, it's just been weird with the Ritualist, right? Like, so, I don't know. You could, Alumni Ring, Acid Stone, those things are going to work out well for you. There is also the, what's it called? There's a ring I don't have yet, and I'm trying to get it. I want to say it's like the Shade Crystal or something like that, but it increases your status effect damage. And for some reason, I don't have that, so I'm trying to get it right now. But we are in the Butcher's Quarter. I'll run it around. You're going to see it clears up ads, like, just fine. Because that's what status effects builds do when you're running Ritualist as your primary. Because that, like, status spread effect is amazing. Right now, I don't actually have Amplitude on. If you do want to do this, and you want it to be really good, put Amplitude on. Because that's going to affect the spread radius, and it's also going to affect, like, your skill radius for the, your explosion skills and stuff whenever you're using your Ritualist stuff. I'm waiting for him to throw his weapon. I thought he was going to throw it. I guess not. I did mention I do have I have Stormbringer. That's a mutator I have in there right now. increases status effect damage by 50%, which is nice, and then it lowers enemy resistances whenever I hit them with a charge attack, which is, you know, what I'm doing to do the spear effect. That burning effect from a shotgun, I'm using a spark fire shotgun. Not going to work on these guys because they're already on fire, but it can stagger them. It does have the familiar mod ability in there because I really like it. And yeah, I mean, look, it's a status build. It's going to start melting elites. It's going to start melting ads, even the bosses. You just apply status effects and then play it really safe, and you'll do just fine. There's some other mutators that I've been messing around with on this weapon. I wish the Tainted Blade worked with it. That was my first thought, was run Tainted Blade. Then you get double stacks of corrosion going on. It's dealing more damage because you've got corrosion through the Ring of Red Death or whatever it's on. And then you've got 3 stacks from one throw, and just be awesome, right? It just sounds amazing. The problem is, it suffers from the same thing that Gas Giant does, where it does not like to stack those corrosive effects, because this is baseline doing corrosion. When you put on the Tainted Blade, it's not applying 2 effects. It chooses one of them, and I assume it's a baseline one. So you don't end up with 2 stacks of corrosion. You don't end up with 3. You just get nothing. You get the melee damage increase, but for us, that's not what we're about right now. We want the status effect damage. So if we're not actually applying multiple stacks of, you know, corrosion, there's not really a point for us to be running this thing. So that's why I took Stormbringer, because it does add some great, just extra damage, right? We'll go ahead and activate the bird now. Maybe we can stagger him with our spear throw. I was really hoping to stagger him. But, I mean, look, what is he going to do? He's just burning, bleeding acid down. Nothing he can do about it. And, I mean, you could argue that maybe the Krellax is still better to use because of the straight burst damage that it does with the overloaded. But I really like this choice, too, because Krellax feels a little overplayed. And, in addition, I mean, it's something that some people don't think about because, you know, game's been out for a while. People have played through it a lot and have most of the weapons, right? Because it's been out for a while, and if you've been playing it for a while, you're going to have most of the things. But for somebody who's new or doesn't play it like as avidly as maybe you and I do, they don't have the Krellax. And I find the Huntress Spear is a lot easier to get than the Krellax, so you can get this more easily and have access to a nice melee weapon status effect, right? So I like that. I like that it is now a good solid option. It's another choice to get status effects on your melee weapon. I was using Shocker on this thing as well. That was interesting because it's another, like, you know, Shocker is a lot of fun. I like building it up, and then at level 10, it's applying overloaded. You're getting big AoE lightning strikes on enemies. But unfortunately, because I'm really focusing on the, like, ranged throwing aspect of this, it takes so long to charge up. That scared me for a second. It takes so long to charge up the full stacks of it. So unless you're actually going in there and hitting them with the melee attacks of the spear a lot, you're not going to get the Shocker effect very often. You got to, like, really, like, throw spear to spear to spear to spear to spear. I also have the Nebula on as my secondary, which is going to be pretty handy here. It's going to add more corrosion to these guys, especially because we're doing this fight here. Let's go ahead and hit it. Oh, I missed it. Vicious Hardy Hexer. That's going to be really annoying to dodge. Oh, that was really annoying. Heal, please. Oh, can I please heal? There we go. Hit him again. Now, luckily, right, we hit him with this stuff. Oh, that's unfortunate. I kind of thought I could clip him and then keep going. We got hit by an overloaded and a freaking hip check at the same time. Bummer. Shocker's fun. The other mutators as well I was looking at that I've been kind of messing with. Edgelord is okay. No, yeah, Edgelord is nice for this because the increased melee charge speed really allows you, like, look how much faster that throw charge up is. Very nice. So if you're really just trying to throw the spear, like, back to back, that one's really good to use. Edgelord is great. Executor is interesting because it increases the status effect durations on enemies, and then at level 10 increases that melee charge speed for each entity with a status effect on it, which includes you, so you could use the Atonement Fold with it. Bad thing was most of my status effects are coming from the melee weapon, so every time I hit him, it's already reapplying the whole thing, so I don't need the melee charge attack to extend the duration. It's already extending it. And then the melee charge speed, like, I don't, if I'm really looking to get that, the edgelord is just going to win out for me, right? You could also run the, where is it? Reinvigorate, reducing the stamina cost of your charged melee attacks so that your spear isn't eating all your stamina up in the fight. Because if you don't have some kind of stamina reduction there or lots of stamina, you're going to use all your stamina trying to throw the spear. But this will help with that. It also makes the spear hit harder when you throw it, which is pretty nice. I have personally chosen to put in a little relic slot here to reduce my charged attack stamina cost, so it's not eating up all my stamina. Now, if I'm going to try and find an aberrant enemy to kind of show you how that does. I mean, I was fighting that pig, but I want to find like a regular one, like out here, so I can get one more corrupted shard for a new corrupted weapon, and then that'll be pretty much the end of this video. This will be pretty short and sweet because it's just kind of showing you how it's different. It works great with the status effect thing. Again, is it better than Krellax? Who knows? I mean, somebody knows. But the Krellax got, or not the Krellax, but some of the overloaded effects were adjusted because I guess they weren't entirely working the way they were supposed to. One last thing, I forgot to mention this. I tried running Misfortune on here. I kind of forgot about that mutator. It does increases the melee damage for each unique negative status effect the target is suffering from. So if you put on, you know, you throw it, you hit them with corrosion, so you can get an 8%, well, at level 10, an 8% damage bonus just because they have the corrosion. And, you know, doing more stuff can get you a lot more from there. But at level 10, it should be applying slow. But I noticed when I was trying that out, because I was like, oh yeah, this could be fun. I didn't notice this slow effect on enemies. Like maybe I'm just crazy and I didn't see it, but when I was hitting guys and they were still just running around just fine, like no problems at all. Maybe we'll try it out in this fight here and see what happens. I'm gonna hit one of them. Oh, come on. See, some of those animations are janky. Well, I mean, he died really quickly, so it's hard to tell, but I just, on some of the other guys, they didn't slow down. Like, they kept running like normal. And I don't know if it just doesn't synergize right with, or, you know, like, prioritize and do things correctly. Maybe because it's like 2 seconds, so I just don't notice it anymore. Like, I don't know. I feel like it should work. I feel like it should be fun because it's a ranged weapon, you know, a ranged melee weapon, so you can hit them from a distance and apply that slow, which would be a lot of fun. But it's, I don't know. Don't think it's working right. This is also really fun, like just standing up here and throwing spears at dudes as they come up, or try to, and then, you know, watching all the status effects spread. Ow. Whoop. Yoink. Catch him now? Yeah, I like that. It's so satisfying to hit the spears. Alright, there's an elite. That's going to work out nicely for us. I'm going to activate our Nano Swarm, though. Is he slowed? I guess I saw the icon, but he's staggered. Hit him! Alright, well, I don't know. I saw a little 2-second icon, so maybe it is working correctly, and I just am not noticing it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and call it there. I'm not seeming to finding any more guys. I was running around for a bit, but, hey, appreciate you guys checking it out. Huntress Spear, a lot of fun now. I mean, it's been a lot of fun, but now it's just better. It's just better now. It's just nice. Thanks for checking it out. Always appreciate it when you guys do check them out. Give it a go for yourself. See how it feels. Until the next one, take care.